What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz.
Boy, Nattybaps, man.
We the Bap team,
Bro. Woo. Week 7 in the books. If you joining us for the first time, welcome. Uh just two brothers talking shit about football. We on Tuesday nights we recap everything that was of week 7 in the NFL football. And on Wednesdays we predict the next week's games. Some teams, Shabazz's teams, are out here winning 5 straight games and scoring 40 points and making it happen. Other teams, like mine, struggling to put up 10. We'll talk about all the good, the bad, the ugly of everything. That was week 7, because in order to move forward, we have to reflect on the week that was. Before we start, drop a like, subscribe if you do, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm not really energized, man, because my team started off the week. It's another 1-4 week for FID, man. Another 1-4 week for FID. The only team to win was Shabazz. Everybody else has just got smoked. Literally, every other team got destroyed by more than 2 points, more than 2 possessions. Actually crazy. Except the Patriots lost by 2 possessions. But we start off with Thursday night football. Oh, I'm waiting.
Another winning parlay, you know what I'm saying? Those in the chat. I think it's like 3 or 4 weeks straight we've been hitting on them. So let's try to continue this momentum. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely nervous about the Rams because it was up against the Raiders, and then Antonio Pierce is not a good coach, so it worked in my favor. So
not a good coach is crazy.
Cause bro, this is the second time he chose to kick a field goal instead of going for the touchdown. But I digress. We'll talk about that later. Talk about the Saints real quick. Let me just say they did Drew Brees dirty. I think I thought Dennis Allen should have been fired on Friday. I'm surprised he wasn't. You feel like, and then you shared something on Twitter from like you put it in the group chat where like you can't, like, if you're a young team like the Packers or like Houston, like you make those mistakes of missed tackles and stuff, but you're a veteran lead team, veteran led team, which is like the point of emphasis. Like you got vets everywhere: Tyrann Mathieu, Cameron Jordan, Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, like all over the defense, but yet you're missing clean tackles. And I'm not even a Saints fan, and it was happening, and I'm like, yo, because my team is we struggle with the same thing at times. Where like, yo, like, why are you missing wide open tackles? Especially you're Demario Davis, where like you led like you're top 5 in the league in tackles. You're one of the best linebackers in the game, and you're missing clean tackles. That's effort. That's like you don't believe anymore. And the saying it was all good just a week ago, it was all good 5 weeks ago. You guys were riding high, top 10 team in power rankings galore. But now, like
Dallas, we just smoked Dallas, and then after that,
smoking Dallas, it just goes in the spiral. But it's not over. It's not over. I think AK getting paid today, literally like an hour before showtime, helps a lot with morale. Olave is going to come back from the concussion. So that's 1 and 2. Obviously, Shaheed's not there no more, which sucks, but you got MVS. If he can catch the ball, he's a valuable deep threat. And Spencer Rattler, for much as he struggled against the Broncos' underrated defense, with me and you both pointed out, I saw some things like, hey, like, all right, cool. Like, you feel me? Cool. So, tough loss. Shout out to the Broncos. They're 4-3. Who would have thought? You know, a lot of people had them as the bottom feeders of their division. I definitely had that. Granted, it's only 7 weeks and it's a long season to go, but they are looking very good and very strong. And they play the Raiders twice. They play the Chargers again. They might split. So like there's opportunity here for 8, 9, maybe 10 wins here. to maybe sneak into the playoffs. So not bad, not bad.
There's no emotion, there's no anger, there's no demonstrative behavior I will exhibit tonight. You can stay with me today. You can stay with me. It's not anger, it's disappointment. The reason why it's disappointment, it's not because it's a national televised game. It's not because we came up short off of like a drop or two or goal. One play happens and then whatever. Like, hey, maybe we win a game, we lose a game, whatever. From opening tip, the Broncos ran the ball down our fucking throats. From opening tip, they ran the ball for 225 yards. The Broncos. The Broncos of this year, with Javonte Williams, as great as we think he is, as underrated as he doesn't run effectively like that. So the fact that he was able to go 14 carries for 88 yards. Bo Nix, 10 carries for 75 yards. Hell, Ardrick Estime, shout out to Notre Dame. He got into the action a little bit, five carries for 29 yards. So it's one of those things when Shannon Sharp mentioned this before. When you're able to run the ball effectively, like the Broncos did against us, like the Bucks did against us, hell, like the Ravens do against almost anybody, that is you're pushing a man against his will. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards down the field, all constantly, over and over and over again. When you're able to run effectively like that, that helps your defense because they're resting. That helps your rookie quarterback because they don't have to worry about throwing the ball if you're running the ball for 8 yards a carry. Our pass defense is great. Pass defense only gave up 160 yards. Cortland Sutton didn't have a single catch. He didn't have a single target, nor a single catch. So again, our secondary is fantastic. It's our front seven, and specifically the front four. Cam Jordan is old right now. He's not playing anywhere near his potential. Chase Young fucking leads the league in pressures, almost sacks. He's letting Bo Nix cook him with his legs. And it's like, again, it's not sadness, it's frustration. Because our offense, hey, three of our original five linemen are hurt. Okay, charge it. Rashid Shaheed's out. Chris Olave's out. Taysom Hill's out. Ever Kamara's dealing with his rib injury. So when it comes to offense, hey, you can't really scout Spencer Rattler because he's not playing with any. He's playing with wide receivers like 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right? He's not playing with guys who are going to potentially have long and fruitful careers. He's not. But it's just like the ability not to show up. Scoring 10 points, that's one thing. Giving up 33 or having 225 yards ran down your throat, that's the issue because that's tackling. That's tackling. Richard Sherman said it best. The players are playing like they want Dennis Allen fired. We're not going to fire him. We didn't fire him. If we were going to fire him, it would have been on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not firing him. It is what it is. Saints right now are 2-5. 5 straight losses. 5 straight losses. And Shabazz mentioned it. As we started off so hot, we destroyed Carolina, then we destroyed Dallas in Dallas. And ever since then, close loss to Philly, close loss to Atlanta. Then on Monday Night Football, got punched in the mouth. Then the Bucks punched us in the mouth, dropped 50. And in this game, dropped 33 on our heads at home. What makes it frustrating is that it was Drew Brees' Saints Hall of Fame induction night. We lost in front of our GOAT again. So Hey, I said this before. I said it. I called it. I called it a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you remember it. I called it last Wednesday. Hell, I said I called it last Tuesday. Actually, last week. I thought we were going to beat the Broncos. We didn't. That's fine. Our schedule is the easiest strength of schedule remaining in the league. So
Show that screen, man. Show that schedule, man. Where?
Damn, I wasn't ready for it, but let me pull it up. So let me pull it up. New Orleans Saints schedule. So I mean, it's not over, right? So let me share my screen. All right, present, share screen, don't share audio, Saints schedule. Boom. So we got the Chargers this weekend, right? And the Chargers can't score touchdowns to save their lives.
50-50 game.
50-50 games. Panthers, come on now. Falcons at home with their sorry selves, who just got destroyed by Seattle. Again, they can. I talked about it last week. They can never play 2 weeks back to back of competitive good football. Then the Browns with their sorry selves. Yeah, Rams, they're a fire sale, just like the Saints are. But hey, we're at home, 50-50 game. Giants, Daniel Jones hasn't scored a touchdown pass at home in like 2 years. Again, we probably lose. So again, the next 6 games are all winnable. I'm not going to be naive and say, "Oh, we're definitely going 6-0 these next 6 games." But just like we had a nail biter against Philly and lost, a nail biter against Atlanta and lost. Those are 2 wins right there. Those go any way. So these are all winnable. So if we go 6-0 these next 6 games, we're sitting at 8-5.
Mm-hmm. Right in it.
Right in it. Right in the thick of it.
Right, with some divisional wins, you know what I'm saying? Push Atlanta down.
Right,
Yo, anything can happen, bro.
so
Anything can happen.
I'm not out here with false optimism. Oh, we about to still make the playoffs and all that. No. Show me week after week just 1 week at a time. Let's not worry about the past. Let's not worry about the future. Focus on 1 week at a time and let's make it happen. So shout out to the Broncos. Give Broncos all the credit. They were prepared. Sean Payton gave us our lick back for firing or letting him go, retiring, whatever. Broncos won. Cool. Saints just gotta lock in. No loudness in my voice, no frustration, just disappointed. And I'll just continue to be disappointed until proven otherwise. Boom. Simple as that. Next. 9 a.m. game on Sunday, one of the last international games. I think there's one more in November with Giants Panthers, which, god damn, that game's gonna suck. But that was in Germany, so they deserve it. Jags handled the Patriots 32-16 in a game where the Jags ran the ball effectively. They took care of business, cool. But the Patriots, they pissed me off. Why? Because they scored 10 points. They were up 10-0 because they were throwing the ball against the worst secondary in the league. They were throwing the ball, and Drake May had really great moments and really great flashes. But then all of a sudden, they go up 10-0 and then start running the ball with Ramondre Stevenson. The Jags, as bad as their secondary and pass defenses, is average to above average when it comes to run defense. Can't really run on them. You can throw a whole lot of yards on them, but you can't run the ball on them, especially with a poor offensive line and a decent running back in Ramondre Stevenson. You got in, and then Antonio Gibson was like in there at some points too. It's like the Patriots just kind of gave the game away because they veered from what worked. What was working? Throwing the ball down the field, and all of a sudden they stopped throwing the ball. Like and Jalen Polk, man, he had some drops. Like,
yo, bro, you heard what he said?
Nah, what's up?
He said, "Oh, I got the best hands in the league." He dropped numerous passes. He got stripped for a fumble. Bro, he played. That was the worst time to make a bold statement of, "I got the best hands in the NFL," and it hit you. I don't have the meme, but it was like the John Cena. Are you sure about that? Insert that, because literally he played as bad of a game as you could.
Yeah,
after talking so much shit.
Yeah, so that's that, and on that, and just like Jags, they finally got right. You know, is this we kind of talk about the opposite of when a bad game happens, is that like a blip or is that a trend? When a good game happens, was it just because you played the Patriots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we'll see. The Jags got the Packers next week, so we'll see how, like, if the international London trip, they shook off the demons of London. Who knows? Brought the good vibes back, but they win. Cool. Patriots suck. All right, whatever. But I genuinely thought the Patriots had this game and could have potentially won this game, but they just stopped throwing the ball until it was too late. So good win, Jags. And Tank Bigsby, by the way, give that man the ball. Why is
Yeah.
Travis Etienne getting the ball? Tank Bigsby is the best running back on their team. He should be getting the ball way more carries than he gets already. So give him the ball 20, 30 times because that's how they're going to win. That's how they're
Well,
going to.
so the Jags kind of went through the easy part of their schedule, and I'm like, damn. I just looked at it. I don't need to share it. Just know I see five straight losses incoming. Packers, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, Texans. That's a gauntlet. That's a gauntlet. So you start off 2-5. Do the easier part of your schedule. You are about to be 2-10, looking like a top 5 draft pick, but that can be useful. Get some draft capital, fire Doug Peterson. Hey, that's cool. If you're a Patriots fan, you're okay. We're losing, but you're. I wish, honestly, the way that Drake May plays and how confident he is, I kind of wish he was playing week 1. I kind of wish and I love the model that the Ravens did with Lamar and the Chiefs did with Mahomes, where like you let them sit for Lamar's case, like half the season, for Patrick Mahomes' case, the whole season except for that last game. Like you let that rock, and then you see them develop as you go, or you just throw them out week 1, whatever. Bryce Young struggling. Anthony Richardson got injured. Like it's a hit or miss with that situation. But like Drake Mays maybe he's sitting for 6 weeks and actually learning the offense as to his benefit. Maybe they can salvage their season, but they play the Jets. I don't know. It's weird. None of these teams are gonna make the playoffs. Um, but hey, man, we'll see, bro. We'll see. Eagles destroy Giants and Saquon's homecoming. I don't know if this stat is true, but this dude Saquon literally had more. I gotta look at it, but I think he had more yards by himself than the Giants had by him, like the whole team combined.
I can tell you. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah.
Saquon had like 180 something total yards, right?
Saquon had total yards. He had 100 and almost 190, and the Giants team had 119.
Lord of mercy. And the Eagles defense is not even that good, to be honest with you.
I mean, they got after Daniel Jones like
They,
6 times. No, I lied. 8 times.
8 times, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And I, if you're Philly, you're glad you got a divisional win, and Saquon went nuts. AJ Brown went nuts. I would love to see Devontae a little bit more, be more balanced. But if you're gushing them out for 200 something yards on the ground, I think he understands. Now we'll talk about tomorrow. There's a very strong game in that 1 o'clock window, or I think it's 4 o'clock, whatever. Bengals, Eagles, 1 o'clock. That's a
It was
pretty
4 o'clock, but then it got flexed out for the Bears Commanders.
uh that's cool. 1 o'clock window. That's a good game for a 1 o'clock window. So we're gonna see how they look, how they stack up to I guess a contender. I guess. Um Both teams suck, but that's not my point. The point is Giants suck. Daniel Jones terrible at home. He has not. You said it a couple of games ago. He has not scored a touchdown at MetLife in like a year and a half, 2 years. That's terrible. That is terrible. Like it was 28-10, 28-17. Okay, you fought, but then Saquon was like he could have had a career like literally had like he could have I think he was like 3 or 5 yards short from his career high, and Sirianni was like, "Yo, I want to play you. Like, are you down with that?" He was like, "Nah, like we're already winning. Let's get the young bulls. They touches," which I applaud for multiple reasons. One, because that's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we literally seen like you don't need to take unnecessary hits if you don't need to, which would reminisces about when Derrick Henry could have had 200 against the Bills, but we was like we tried, we failed, and then we was like, all right, now we're not gonna do it because you never know that one hit that might do it to you, and we're previewing a lot, we're speaking it a lot heavily because of what's happened on Monday night with Chris Godwin, but we'll talk about that later on. But Eagles won the 1-2 straight, 4-2, and close, keeping it close with the Commanders for first place. And depending on how it goes this week, if they win, Commanders lose to the Bears, they first place in the division. There you go. So we'll see. We shall see how it goes.
Yeah. I just changed my camera. I was looking at myself. I was looking a little rusty. Now I look good. Now I look good. Type shit. Um, you said everything that needed to be said. I do want to give credit to the pass rush for the Giants. Um, they got 5 of them things. They got 5 sacks. Sexy Dexy had like 2 of them. He's playing at an all-pro level. He's looking like the best defensive tackle in the league right now.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame because again, the offense for the Giants is so bad. But like, yes, Saquon had a like almost 10 yards of freaking carry. Like, but it's like, damn, it's like, yeah, he had 10. He actually did have 10 yards of carry. It's actually insane. But it's like, bruh, like third down for like the first like half was so like Daniel Jones getting sacked on third down or Jalen Hurts getting sacked on third down. So Jalen Hurts isn't doing much either. You gotta give him like he had one deep ball to AJ Brown for 40 something yards. But other than that, he outside of that one pass, that touchdown pass, he was 9 for 13 for 70 yards. So he's not doing much. He's not losing them the game, but he's also not winning them. This is clearly Saquon's team, and it goes through him. For the Giants, just damn. That's all I can say is damn. Grateful I'm not a Giants fan. Bengals beat the Browns 21-14 as Watson ruptures his Achilles. 2 notes on because this game sucked. It was boring. It was punt, 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 punt. It was literally it started off exciting. It was literally the first play of the game was a kickoff return for a touchdown. Then outside of that, it was boring. Nick Chubb, shout out to the GOAT, got his touchdown, which cashed a lot of parlays for me. My little $2 bets type shit. But the big thing I want to talk about, I'm pretty sure you want to mention it as well. Watson got booed as he's getting carted off, right? And we've had some time, we have a day to get our like thoughts together with this. And I've listened to some people, and Danny Perkins from the Breakfast Club or Breakfast Balls.
Yeah.
Breakfast Ball. He said it best. Shout out to FS1. He was being booed when he was being introduced into the game. So like Nick Chubb got, whoa, it's Nick Chubb, woo, Myles Garrett, woo, 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 Deshaun Watson, boo, boo this man, tomato, 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 throwing tomatoes. So genuinely, the Browns fans were like done with him. They're sick of him and they wanted him bench weeks ago, right? So then he gets carted off, and obviously we don't wish injuries upon players for the most part. But we gotta contextualize this. Deshaun Watson is a terrible human being. He was doing some really messed up stuff. But like he wasn't being booed because he got hurt. I mean, yeah, he got booed because he got, but he was booed because he was playing poorly. And I preface this, and I let you cook because this is your conference, this is your division. If God forbid, literally God forbid, I'm not bringing wishing this on anybody. Hell, as much as we Saints fans hate Derek Carr, we wouldn't boo him if he got hurt. We didn't boo him when he hurt his oblique. As bad as Baker Mayfield sometimes has been, right? Bucks fans love him, right? So you get booed not because you got hurt. It's because you was playing so poorly that the backup is finally getting in the game. that's a realization that you have to go through, Deshaun Watson, because now what's gonna happen? You were 3 years ago looking like a top 5 quarterback in the league. Now you look like you don't even belong in the league. So this is your division. Both teams should have lost, in my opinion. The Bengals escaped with the win because it's the lowly Browns, and this goes back to the Jags, right? Are the Jags good, or did they just beat the Patriots? Are the Bengals good, or did they just beat the Browns? So good win for the Bengals. They won 2 straight. We'll see if that continues. But this is your division, so
Um, this shit sucked, honestly, bro. The game was annoying for multiple reasons because they're when Joe Burrow plays amazing, they glaze him. But when he doesn't play well, or when their offense doesn't play well, they don't give him that same like criticism. And for me, it's you got to be consistent. Um, that's my one. That's my main gripe with the Bengals. The 2 weeks in a row, their defense has stepped up. Granted,
yeah.
Giants, Browns, we shout put that with a grain of salt there. But hey, you play who's on your schedule, and they performed at the level. Geno Stone finally got a pick with Cincinnati. Finally, former Raven. So I gotta shout out the former Ravens when they do well. They cannot get the run game going. They couldn't get the pass game going, but I think that's more of a byproduct of Browns defense. And to your point about the booing of Deshaun, I thought that was classless. Say like if you how you feel about a guy, whatever he had done allegedly, you like it's the same thing with Dak when he broke his leg. He's getting carted off the field. Like love him or people were like happy that he got injured. No, like you never are. You want them to not do well. You want them to throw a million interceptions and be terrible on the field, but you never cheer for injuries. And the fact that the Browns fans cheered when he was carted off, that said a lot. That obviously as a division rival of them, it's like and it's really fucked the Browns, but like that was just like that fan base was just terrible. But now we got a notification that they probably gonna start Jameis.
Mhm.
I'm like, damn, why you gotta start this guy? uh, and people was like, preview for tomorrow. People were like, oh, well, y'all should win, right? It's the Browns, bro. Divisional games, bro. Like you never know. Like it's not the Cowboys versus the Giants kind of division. AFC North, we all can beat each other. Like a team could be flying high, 10-0, whatever like that, and they play an AFC North team, GG's, because we are so frequent with each other. We know each other so well. So you honestly never know. So
Yeah,
will I touch this game tomorrow with my bets? No. Because we're favored by last time I checked it was like 10 points. I don't know how it's gonna end up. We'll talk about my team later. But Bengals win. They play the Eagles, who are a better team than both offensively than both the Giants and the Browns combined. So if they can do it again for a third straight week and end up being 500, then you have my attention. But until then, I ain't worried about no freaking Cincinnati. Lions win. NFC North shootout. Shootout. I think the Vikings were up like 17-0 or like 10, like 30. The Vikings were up a lot. Then the Lions were up a lot. Then the Vikings were up a lot. Then the Lions came back and went like that. It was back and forth. Justin Jefferson cooked. Amara cooked. Sure.
Jimmy
Everyone
Gibbs
cooked.
cooked. Yeah.
Sonic headshot. Knuckles didn't cook. So a lot of people probably definitely didn't hit because David Montgomery. But
Mhm.
what are you gonna do about that? I think that people are elevating Jared Goff to MVP conversation. Valid takes. I ain't gonna hit y'all with the No, that's valid takes. What the only knock against him that he lost to Tampa Bay. That Tampa Bay is a good team. It's quality loss. Now he, I think he's a benefactor of a lot, but you could also say Lamar's a benefactor of a lot. The first take out a whole debate between Lamar versus freaking Jared Goff today, and I'm not getting into that. I think that it's fine. I honestly think if Jared Goff continues this track, he could be the MVP because the team is winning, the defense is not as good, and he's putting up great numbers. That's MVP quality right there. Especially with Aiden Hutchinson going down, so you have to score points every week. That's MVP quality. So Sam Darnold played well. He didn't play well enough. Aaron Jones came back. That was a great surprise.
Yeah.
Some I thought he was going to make another week maybe, but off the bye he was extra rested. Like that was great to see. And then Justin Jefferson just being the young goat he is. So I ain't worried about Minnesota. I'm not worried about Detroit. They'll see each other again. Maybe this might be a preview of the NFC Championship game. Who knows?
Well, they see each other again in the regular season.
Obviously, at Detroit. So we'll see. We'll honestly see. This will be a great flex Sunday night football game later down the line.
Yeah, 100% agreed, bro. I'm gonna read you some stats, bro. Total yards. Actually, I'm gonna just do like passing yards. Lions 247, Minnesota 244. Rushing yards 144 to Detroit, 139 to Minnesota. Average yards of play. They both had 7. Fumble loss. Detroit lost a fumble, but Minnesota threw a pick. Both allowed 4 sacks. Both had 40% on third down. Both had 8 penalties. Total yards was 391 to 383. This is as much, and this does not happen in the NFL. This was as much of an even game as you can get in the league. You mentioned the divisional rivals, throw records out the way. These were and are two of the better teams in the NFC. And they showed like haymaker. It started off slow for the Lions. They had the fumble and they went down 10-0. But after that, they showed up and like, yo, this is Detroit football. We're gonna run the ball. And shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. He had, I think, his best game as a runner because he usually is like the gadget guy. But he had 15 carries for 116 and 4 catches for 44. So a buck 60 with almost 20 touches. Like that's like he's becoming like obviously the Demon got hurt. So he's not becoming the lead back. Their 1-2 punch that's better probably than almost any one league. Like I don't think anybody has a 2-man team like they do. And the Lions, man. Spoiler alert, by the way, I'm going with the Rams tomorrow, Thursday night to cover because I'm gonna probably say this stat again tomorrow. Teams that lose to Detroit or teams that play Detroit, whether they win or lose, they lose the next week.
Oh wow!
Like it's one of those things like they get so beat up against Detroit that like they just lethargic, slow. And Minnesota, this was like they lost on a last second field goal. So they know that, damn, despite everything that happened, we had that game won. So lethargic, Cooper Kupp might be coming back for the Rams. We'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. This game, Seahawks destroy Falcons 34-14, much to Nattybaps' happiness. Fun fact, all the teams in the NFC South lost by 10-plus points.
Damn.
Everyone lost by 2 possessions, which is crazy. More than 2 possessions at the very least. For Seattle, Kenneth Walker. He's him. Me and you have been praising this dude for a while and saying this guy is awesome. Obviously, a bigger story of this game is that DK Metcalf got hurt. I think they said it's a sprained MCL. I'm not 100% sure. But sprained is not torn, so he will come back at some point this season, which is great. But again, Seahawks, they always play that one like, oh my God, this is the potential that they can be at. But most of the time they play underneath that because they don't give Kenneth Walker the ball. If they do what the Ravens do with Derrick Henry and say, yo, you know what? Yeah, we'll play or whatever in the first half, whatever. But the second half, we're gonna let our running back cook. That's what the Seahawks should do on a consistent basis, and they don't do that, and that's why they lose games against the Niners, against Giants, so on and so forth. They shut down Atlanta. They shut them down. Then Kirk Cousins was coming off of like that 500-yard game. Oh, we here, da, da, da. And then they played the Panthers. They're like, oh, the Panthers, oh, they can run the ball now. But I said it wasn't the fact that they just played the Panthers, and it was the case, right? Kirk Cousins is a defense, I also said that defense for Atlanta is fraudulent. They're not good. They just played a sorry ass Panthers team. So hold on. No, this deserves a clip. All right. You know what? This deserves a clip because I call this game for
Vindication.
I'm vindicated. Because I said Atlanta can't do anything consistently on offense 2 weeks in a row. They defense is overrated because they played a sorry ass Panthers team and they can't run the ball and it's inflated because they played a sorry ass Panthers team. Bijan, he did his thing, but you play a competent team and you don't score points. Hell, even the Saints, a couple weeks ago, we scored no offensive touchdowns against the Saints. You had a pick six and then a muff punt. So it's one like again, the Falcons offense isn't that good, and neither is their defense. They just find a way to stay alive in one score games. So good job for Seattle. Thank you for helping me out.
I was totally wrong in this game. I thought the West Coast going to East Coast 1 o'clock game was gonna be the detriment of Seattle, but they came ready to play off jump. So huge shout out to Mike McDonald, and I said Mike, it's only Mike's. Mike McDonald and that defense and the running game. DK got hurt, but they have skill position guys, JSN, Tyler Lockett. This definitely, I wanted to see how JSN steps up into the lead receiver role. Granted, Tyler Lockett's there, but I think at this point in their careers, like JSN is slightly better. So I want to see him step up and elevate his game to the reliable target for Geno Smith, which he was. Once DK went down, like JSN making clutch catch, JSN making clutch catch, time after time. So they got that rapport already. Now it's just gonna get the usage rate is gonna go much higher. So I'm excited for that, and also to be more balanced, running the ball. They have to run the ball more, especially they play Buffalo at home. Buffalo cannot stop the run. Trust. They cannot. So I expect a big Kenneth Walker game here. And who knows about my pick? I might call it upset. Who knows? We'll see that tomorrow. But Atlanta, ever since that 500-yard game, kind of been like slowly declining. You kind of want to, if you're a Falcons fan, you kind of want that to be like 200, 250. You kind of want that to be the norm. It was so bad that Kirk Cousins got subbed out and they inserted Michael Penix into the game. So you don't want that. You don't want that. Granted, you put the young bull in to see what he can do, sure, fine, but you don't want to get cooked so badly that you have to put the young bull in. So if you're Atlanta, you play Tampa Bay again, this time at Tampa. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Heartbroken team. But we shall see how that goes. Bills overcome first half struggles and dominate the Titans. I think they had 300 yards in the second half alone. That's it was looking shaky. This was also one of my picks. It was looking shaky. I was like, damn, Bills not looking good. Huh? What's going on? But then they reminded us, all right, Bills at home is kind of a hard place to play. And they locked in. Amari Cooper dropped his first catch. He dropped the first one. I think that's just like he not used to catching from a strong arm Josh Allen. So he was like, all right, let me get right. So then he got a touchdown. Keon Coleman had a career day, 125. He cut, is it 125, 140, but whatever, one something. He cooked. And defensively, they clamped down. Granted, Titans' ass. So again, this is going to be the caveat. Is this the norm? Can you do this consistently? Or is it just could you play the Titans? And apparently my coworker was like, well, the Titans were rated the number one defense. I'm like, that's a cap. That's a lie because Chicago's right there. So I ain't saying I ain't telling them now, but like, damn, I'm first off my head, I'm like Steelers, Chicago, like, what are you talking about? Titans are definitely not in no top, no, not no one, absolutely not. Vikings maybe, so no, but shout out to the Bills, they won, they're 5-2, first place, strong first place in the division, and they go to Seattle, tough place to play, so hopefully they can continue that streak.
These next couple games, or these two next two games, I have no much to really to say. Uh, you said everything that really needs to be said regarding this Bills game. Titans offense. The reason why I predicted the Bills minus, I think it was like 9.5. It's like as much as that defense is respectable, your offense is offensive. And in the first half, it was more close because the Bills struggles. It wasn't anything that the Titans did offensively. Like, yeah, they ran the ball a little bit effectively with Tony Pollard, but other than that, it wasn't anything crazy. So it's after the second half, and Josh Allen's like, you know what? Let me lock the fuck in before my fans tweak out. They rally off what? It was like 10-7 at half, and then they rally off 27 straight. So, like, boom. Colts beat the Dolphins in ugly game 16-10. I got no. This is one of those games where it's just I genuinely have no thoughts. Anthony Richardson can't throw the ball from me to you. He literally can't throw the ball close at all. Like his accuracy is so bad. Run the ball well, cool. Jay, they get another win without Jonathan Taylor, which is a fantastic thing. They're 4-3, cool. They're winning games, but it's so ugly. It's so bad. It's so bad. So again, the Dolphins. Tua is coming back this week. So
That's
that
official.
I mean, he's like leaning to coming back, and they asked him about his Guardian cap. Would he wear one?
Yeah, he's like, nah.
So it's one of those things. Like, again, Tua comes back, then that means your receivers get open. That means that everyone, your offense just explodes and gets better because you're not winning games with. And let me make sure I have their quarterback's name right. They're not winning games with
Scott Tim Boyle,
Tim Boyle, because Snoop Huntley got hurt, so it's Tim Boyle.
not Skyler.
Huh? No,
Not
not Skylar Thompson, because Skylar Thompson got hurt.
Jesus.
So yeah, the Dolphins they need Tua right now. They need him back to salvage any part of this season. They need him ASAP.
I have nothing to add, bro.
Then boom, let's move on.
Move on. Now I'm mad. I think it was 2.5 that I had the Packers, and they won by 2. So that hook killed me. Packers played like Jordan Love. Literally, we talked about it last week. That's going to be the point of emphasis. Like, bro, that Brett Favre gene. You know, that just the fuck it. I'm throwing this bitch. Like, I'm letting
The Josh Allen fuck it meter, bro. We talked about it for years.
I'm gonna let this fly. And no, it's there, and I think he has to mature in his passing selection for sure. He doesn't always like Mahomes struggled with that in the beginning of his career, when like he throws for so many yards, but also had a lot of interceptions as well. Once he decided, okay, I don't need to hunt for that big play every time. I could take the check down or the medium route. He became who he was. Jordan Love is still young in that process. Although he's like year 5 or whatever, he's still young in that. He hasn't played a lot of games. So he's very coachable. Like Matt LaFleur got to talk to him like, yo, my boy. Like if it's there, sure, but don't chase. Never chase. Because all terms Texas should have won the game. But CJ Strong gotta play better. Like I think he had like 83 yards total. Gotta play better. Granted, you're running the ball with Joe Mixon for a lot, but you can't even crack 100. Like even Jalen Hurts cracked 100, but Saquon went for like $175. So like you have to, and this is like another week back to back where you do a pick against New England. Granted, he had not the best game, but the team won by like 20. He cannot be the reason why they lose. Everyone elevates CJ Stroud in that top 5 category because of his leadership, his mindset, and that he wins games and he gets it done. But the second you don't, and plus you're a second year player, the kid gloves are off. There's no, oh, but he's a rookie. He's gonna especially with the success that you had early. Nope, you can't expect that same level of grace given to you as a second year player, as a first year player. So for him, he has to take that next step. Nico being out, I know it's difficult. Oh, I don't have two. No, I don't have two number one receivers. But you still got Stephon Diggs. You still got a run game. And you got Tingdell, Dawson Knox. I said Dawson Knox. Dawson Schultz. Like, you have weapons around you. Your defense is keeping it close. Your job is to elevate the team from that point. So I don't know who you guys play next.
I don't know on the top of my head.
I don't know on top of my head. We'll talk about that tomorrow, or if you're on a bye, then whenever the next time you play. But you have to play better, and I think you will. I think you will. Not everybody's gonna go 17-0. Hopefully not. And shout out to the Packers. They're getting it done.
So here's the thing, right? Like CJ Stroud's stats, be damned. The Texans, for all intents and purposes, should have won this game. They had 3 turnovers. They had barely any penalties. They had the ball more. But when you settle for 3 constantly, like Joe Mixon scored twice, right? So that's 14, right? Well, I guess technically they went for 2 and missed it, but regardless, though, right? You just kept settling for field goals in the red zone. You had short fields constantly because of Packers' mistakes. And at the end of the day, you couldn't get it done. Like, we hold, and this is where, oh, he's just a boy, he's just a baby. No. We hold Lamar to a standard of your defense finally makes it happen. If you don't crack 100, if again, there's levels to this shit. Mahomes is kind of like untouchable because he has like 3 wings and whatever. But if Allen had 86 passing yards, we would be ripping him to shreds. Lamar, 86 passing yards, and your team loses because you just can't get the ball in the end zone, niggas would be talking shit. Burrow, for the longest, right, he wasn't winning, but we were like, oh, well, Burrow's not the reason, but we still was giving him crap. So you have 86 passing yards. 86. Yes, you're losing. Yes, you're missing a receiver. Hell, rookies now are better than you right now. Marcus Mariota comes off the bench, and we're going to talk about them next, drops a 40 burger. Yes, against the lowly Panthers, but still, a 40 burger. So it's one of those things where it's like, yo, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? You have no excuse. Yes, oh my God, I'm missing Nico Collins, my best friend. You have Stephon Diggs. You have Tank Dell. You have Dalton Schultz. You have Joe Mixon. You have weapons. You got to win this game, especially when your defense gets 3 turnovers. You win a turnover margin 3-0, and you don't have a turnover. Your offense plays damn near pretty good. But key sacks on 3rd down and settling for field goals kept the Packers in the game, and they stole the game from you. Point blank, period. How do you respond, and how do you adapt? How do you adapt to adversity when you lose a game that you full on should have won? Because a couple weeks ago, you won a game you should have lost. Like, you beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Like, you beat the Bills on the last second because full on should have lost, at least gone to overtime, and we'll see what happened. But again, how do you deal with failure and how do you deal with success? They're a young team, young coach. They'll be fine, hopefully. But CJ Stroud, you got to play better because you're not a rookie anymore. People putting you in MVP talks and top 5 quarterback talks, rightfully so and rightfully deserved. But what heavy is the head that wears the crown? And when you wearing that crown of a top 5 quarterback and you perform like a Bryce Young bottom 2 quarterback, people going to start talking about you positively and negatively. So you got to handle the press, young man. I believe in you. Really quickly, because again, it's the Panthers. Commanders destroyed them without Jaden Daniels. He's dealing with a rib injury. He's day-to-day. He might play on Sunday. He might not play on Sunday. I love Scary Terry. Love Terry McLaurin making it happen for Marcus Mariota. But who's the best player on their team is Brian Robinson. The team goes as he goes. He's one of the best running backs in this game. Doesn't get talked about a lot because he plays for the Commanders. He is him. Many men, Brian Robinson. That's my guy. I might get a jersey for him. I'm trying to get a jersey for every team. I might get a McLaurin or a Brian Robinson jersey. We'll see about that. Regardless, though, 40 points is nothing to scoff at. Even with your backup, yes, it is the lowly Panthers and Andy Dalton. Like I mentioned weeks ago, this is the law of diminishing returns. It's yes. Oh my God, he comes in, he beats the Raiders. Oh my God, look how great this offense looks. And then you realize, yeah, he plays for the Panthers, and yeah, he shouldn't be a starter. Yeah, he should probably be retired, and so on and so forth. So, Commanders, good win, great win. You win games that's on your schedule. You play the teams on your schedule, and you put them down, and made it. We're not even close. Now, obviously, Jay Daniels, get healthy, please, because we got a 425 game with Tony Romo on the call of Bears Commanders, and people are excited for Bears Commanders. I don't know who else would be there except for Bears fans, but people are excited about Bears and Commanders. So come on, Jaden Daniels, get healthy and make it happen.
I got nothing much to add. Shout out to Brian Robinson. Shout out to the veteran leadership. This is why leadership is important in this league. Even without your starting quarterback, you have veteran presence in Mariota, Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, like especially defensively as well. Like they elevated their game because their quarterback was out. So okay, like we might have to be the reason why they win. Pick six in the beginning of the game, like to start it off, and it was just momentum, momentum. So shout out to the Commanders, 5-2, the 5-2 Commanders, man. Shout out, huge shout out. Rams beat the Raiders, another one of my parlay. This was the final pick, like tickets for my parlay. Matthew Stafford, I think his time is up, but time up with the Rams. I feel like everyone try to hypothesize like him being traded to the Giants. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that. But it's also very difficult to do anything without Cooper Cup or Puka Nakua. So it's like, you got to give them that grace. Defensively, they played very well. Granted, against the Raiders, they just traded Devontae. They have no weapons for real. Like Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. That's who they got right now. Brock Bowers is a dog for sure. And it's not really much to say. Kyron Williams, I think he has like 18 straight games with a touchdown.
It's 9. It's 9.
Oh, they dragged it.
You dragged it. Oh shit. Oh. Where?
His
But yeah,
kneecap.
kneecap.
Nine straight games with a touchdown is amazing. That's great.
Going back to last season, I think it might have been 9 and went to 10. It might be 10 now because he's like
Regardless, he's on a heater right now. So if you have him in fantasy, you're eating up. If you have him on like a parlay for a touchdown, you're eating up too. So that's lit. That's honestly lit. So shout out to them. And hey, man, the Commanders lost. I mean, the 49ers lost. Seattle's not running away. Arizona's right there. So 2-4, you're in it. You are in it. You gotta, if you upset the Vikings 3-4 and you could rattle off some confidence, shit, got in there.
word. I got nothing else to add. That's it. I really don't. Chiefs win Super Bowl rematch against the Niners 28-18. Again, if this game was anyone different than Kansas City and the Niners, I wouldn't talk about it. But because it's Kansas City, because it's the Niners, we have to talk about it. Niners are they getting an injury bug like no one else. Like I think probably worse than the Saints right now. Like the Saints had it, and then we're starting to get healthier after our 10 days rest. The Niners are like, hold my beer. Ayuk out for the season. Debo dealing with pneumonia. Kittle, his foot hurt. I don't know what happened. Probably sprained ankle, but he's day to day. Like, and then your defense, Fred Warner still battling with his injuries as well. And Brock Purdy, as much credit as we gave him, and I gave him at least in the beginning of the season, I don't have a pumpkin, but he turned it into a pumpkin a little bit. He had nice 2 rushing touchdowns. Great, cool, fantastic. Whoop de doo. but he had, and I don't want to get this number wrong, so I'm actually going to look up how many picks he had. I think he had 3 interceptions.
Yeah, 3.
3 of them things, bro. Yeah, three picks, no touchdowns passing, and just it was bad. Like now, I'm not saying Kansas City played any better. I'm not, because Patrick Mahomes has been bad this season. But again, he gets the benefit of the doubt because he has 3 of them things. And I said it. I wish I clipped it and played it for this part of the show. I said I don't know why I'm picking Kansas City. I said they have the better quarterback, but not this season. They have the better coach because it's Andy Reid. But somehow, some way, Mahomes is gonna do something. And I wasn't trying to dick ride. I wasn't trying to glaze, but I was like, Mahomes is gonna do something that's gonna make him win the game, have winning football. Having the 2 picks definitely didn't help, but that the truck in the end zone against the safety was pretty impressive. And then the 48-yard scamper, which some people are, I'm complaining about it as well. Because if he tried that shit, and let's just say for argument's sake, he tried that shit in 2012. He is
He getting popped.
he's getting popped. He is getting like difficulty breathing because the defenders are pulling away because they don't want to get flagged. Shout out to Kyle Hamilton, by the way. I know we're gonna talk about him in 2 games. He be laying the wood. He don't care about
Yeah,
picks.
like you don't give a.
He don't care about. He don't give a damn about picks. He trying to take niggas out. So if he was on the Niners, like if that run not happening because Mahomes getting popped. He don't care about the fact. Find him. He doesn't care. He's getting destroyed. So Kyle Hamilton, last of a dying breed. But the Chiefs win in an ugly game, snooze fest. Again, if this was anybody else other than Kansas City, we would be saying they're a bad team, scraping out wins. And Nick Wright, he's faltering. Kevin Wilds got him in the corner because Mahomes is winning, but not impressive stats, right? And he's like, oh, QB wins because my quarterback's the best quarterback. He finds a way to win. That's the definition of what Kevin Wilds has been suggesting all this time. Don't have to be
wins the QB stat. Yeah.
don't have to have gaudy stats as long as you make the intangible plays at the end of the game to win. So, like, Chiefs keep doing that, right? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And they're probably, I don't know who they got next week. I don't think any teams are on a bye next week. So the Chiefs. Oh, Chiefs got the Raiders. Yeah. 8-0. No, I lied. 7-0. 7-0.
The only team I can see beat them, I think, because they got Broncos for sure. The Broncos are gonna get one. They're gonna get one, and they're gonna, if they end up being 16-0 end of the season, they're gonna lose that last game because you do not want that mojo. They could try to win 17-0.
The last game of the season against the Broncos.
Oh no, they're losing. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. They're not going there.
So here are the tough games remaining. They have the Bucks in Monday Night Football a couple weeks from now. They got Buffalo on November 17th at Buffalo. And then they have the Texans at home before Christmas. So those are like their 3 tough games, I would say. Because even if the Bucks don't have the weapons, they have Baker Mayfield who can throw the ball down the field and threaten somebody. So the 3 toughest games are a Bucks team that's hurt to shit, the Bills team that always loses to Kansas City, and then a Houston team that's young. So we'll see. We'll see. But what are your thoughts about the Niners? Because we only got like 3 more games to go.
Oh man, it was annoying to see. I thought he crumbled under the pressure. Also does not like, you're gonna give him grace. This is why people aren't like ragging him as much. It's because like mid game, like if Debo didn't play today or on Sunday, and it was just Ayuk, I get it. But if you're Debo, like you weren't ready, you played 3 snaps. And you raise like I can't go. You feel like you should have done pregame warm-ups and then like, oh, I can't go. That's different. Ricky Pearsall his first game after like he's recovering from getting shot. So he's gonna need some time. Well, that time has to be accelerated a lot because he's the only one left. Jawan James is gonna come back eventually, but it's annoying. It's annoying. It's bad. Super Bowl hangover is undefeated, bro. It really is. It really is. If you lose the Super Bowl, like you're gonna go through a rough season. And there you go. That's what's happening. Sunday night football. Russ and the Steelers cook the Jets. And Natchy was like, "Oh, you gonna give him credit, right?" I was like, I will absolutely give Russell Wilson credit. I'm giving him his full name. He earned the full name. He played surprisingly well. Now, in the first half, I'm like, I'm Birdman, rubbing my hands together for Tuesday. I'm like, oh, I'm about to cook this little boy. But second half, man, he did his thing. And everyone who was clamoring like, oh, Justin Fields as much of fans as we are, game recognized game. He can't push the ball down the field like Russell Wilson can, which is why Mike Tomlin probably made that switch because he's like, yo, we're winning games, but there's so much meat off the bone that we don't get because we're just a short yard, medium, short, and running the ball. But to break the defense, if they know you're gonna run the ball, you gotta do a couple deep shots out there, and George Pickens can catch those. He can't run routes. I'm gonna continue to say he can't run routes, but he has great hands. He makes those 50-50 catches look 70-30. Like he has great hands. And the defense just amazing. Like that first pick by Bishop was great from him. Second play, more of a again, bro, body catch. The body catch epidemic, man. He tried to catch it with his body, but it bounced off, whoop, and then football guys like just gave this rookie the ball. So it's tough, but what are you gonna do? Jets gotta get it together. They honestly they have an easy ass schedule. They have to get it together. But honestly, I don't give a fuck. Because first of all, Moosey and well, not Jason, mainly Moosey was dick riding my Ravens. We were 0-2. And they were 1-1. He was talking his shit. They were 2-1. We were 1-2. He was talking his shit. And ever since then, they've lost 4 straight. We've won 5 straight. So we've won 4 straight since that point. So, and plus, Moosey and Nash have a bet that the Saints end up with a better record. So, I'm biased. That's my twin in them. I'm rooting for my twin in them. So there you go. Fuck the Jets. Fuck the Mets. Let's go Yankees in the series, World Series. I'm not even a baseball fan. And yeah.
I'll be quick. I said that adding Devontae Adams is not going to help the Jets win games because the issues are underlying. Yeah, T.J. Watt didn't get 3 sacks. Oh my God, crazy! But he still got sacked. Like again, I talk a lot, but I want to be accurate for the fans, ladies and gentlemen. So give me a quick second to look up at the exact amount of times that Aaron Rodgers got sacked. They can't protect them. They can't protect them. Oh wow, he only got sacked once. I apologize for my outburst. I definitely did. I thought he got sacked way more. But what happened? What happened to Russell Wilson and how they were able to do this? George Pickens can't run routes still, but can catch the damn ball and make circus catches 5 for $111. But the story of the game is Najee Harris. 21 carries for $102, basically 5 yards a carry. He put the team on his back and they ran the ball down the Jets' throat. Simple as that. The Jets can't move the ball effectively. They can't. They have big plays. But when it comes to a nice routine drive, they can't sustain it. And that leaves your defense on the field way too long, and they're not effective. They fired the wrong guy. They shouldn't have fired Salah. Yes, he was a scapegoat. And until they realize what the true issue is, Aaron Rodgers, that's the issue. They're not going to win games or be competitive in the AFC while they have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Absolutely. Is he one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Absolutely. Those two statements are true statements. But the Aaron Rodgers that we grew up watching and an Aaron Rodgers that's in a Jets uniform, they are the same person, but a different person at the same time. If that makes sense, I think it does. We're gonna roll with it. Lamarvelous. Lamarvelous strikes down five of them things. The Jackson 5 piece. As the Ravens handle the Bucks 41-31. Yes, the story of the game is Lamar Jackson making it happen. And yeah, Lamar's the GOAT and great, probably the greatest Raven, offensive Raven of all time. Boom. Is that really a discussion? Lamar's awesome. Lamarvelous for a reason. Big trust. Whoop whoop. Lamar Jackson in the flesh. All that good stuff. Shout out to
MVP front runner.
MVP front runner. Now, I'm not. I don't think he should win 3 MVPs in a row. I don't think he should. But if anyone else was going to,
Well, it's only two in a row. It was 2019 and
oh, it's fair. It's not 3 in a row. It's not three. It is not 3 in a row. That's fair. But he can't. He gotta. I don't think he gives a damn. He doesn't give a damn about this MVP. He wants the bigger MVP. He wants the Super Bowl MVP. He wants that ring. So he doesn't give a damn. He can have Derrick Henry run for 300 yards as long as they win the game. He doesn't care. And if based off of the pace that Derrick Henry's running at, he's going to probably be at 2,000. And if he's, hey, I might give the MVP to, yes, Lamar's throwing the ball effectively, the best of his career. But that team goes as Derrick Henry goes in that running game. They still lead the league in rushing. Defense still a little leaky, but opportunistic and got turnovers when they needed to. And obviously the big story as well, Tampa Bay, injuries to the players. You know, Chris Godwin dislocated his ankle. Mike Evans hurt his hamstring, so he's out until at least their bye week, which is week 11. The big concern for the Ravens is, again, you guys go up early and an onside kick recovery. And then you guys are up like 17 points going into the fourth quarter, if that. And then I would not have been shocked at all if you guys choked.
Damn.
Like I'm not, and I don't. And again, you guys handled business and got the key takeaways and made it happen. But stop letting teams come back or have any sense of hope. Squash that shit in the bud. And one last thing, and I'll let you cook. Justin Tucker, he's back alive, kicking 50 yarders again. Brings a tear to my eye. So shout out to them. Word. But good job, Ravens. And you also said it. You said it like on Wednesday's show. Y'all gonna get my lick back for me. So I appreciate you.
We got your back, big dog. So I ain't gonna lie. I can cap it right here because I keep it a stack. I did not watch game 2. I did not.
Neither did I.
So we could honestly end it here. Cardinals. Oh wait, real quick. Cardinals won. Kyler had a huge rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. Herbert had 350 and still no touchdowns and lost. Greg Roman. There you go. Speaking of Greg Roman, look at what a competent offensive coordinator can do for Lamar Jackson. Everyone for years was like, oh, Lamar cannot throw. He can't get it done. Well, look at Justin Herbert. He's throwing all these yards all over the yard, but they can't capitalize when it matters most. Now, is that a skill issue? Or is it a talent issue? I don't know, but common thread here is that they can run the ball, but they can't really score passing touchdowns. Oh, Greg Roman. But I digress. Lamarvelous. There's a bunch of fives. Ladies and gentlemen. 5 straight wins. Jackson 5.
What?
5-2.
What?
Like crazy. Lamar. I agree with you, Natural. I honestly don't care if he wins MVP or not. Because he's entered a realm where he's already, in my opinion, because he's going to be, eventually he's going to break Michael Vick's record. So he's the greatest running quarterback of all time. He's the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time with 2 MVPs. Multiple All-Pros, all that. So if he retires, eventually, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't care about MVPs. I want that bowl. He wants that bowl. He said it himself. I'm chasing something. He said it himself. It's one game at a time. He doesn't even care. He don't care about the MVP talk, under that. The teammates, They love this guy. They they ride. You say Derrick Henry is the engine of the team. You have an argument with there. But at the soul of the team, the heartbeat of the
Oh, it's
team,
Lamar for sure.
it's Lamar Jackson, without a doubt. They go as he goes. When they're down 10-0, I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. Come on, yo, like, what's going on? But Lamar locked in. He kept his poise, which kept the team poised. He's not like, no disrespect to Brady. When Brady's like making mistakes, he's yelling at guys. Nah, Lamar's cool. He's like, yo, we got it. One play at a time, one game at a time, one drive at a time. He's this version of Lamar is so great. It's so great to see because of the fact of him just being like the game looks like it's slowing down to him. And then the first half, I'm like, yo, why Derrick Henry not running the ball? We only down by 10. It's not a lot. But then
we're literally playing 2K, ladies and gentlemen. Peek behind it. We're playing 2K. Us, my boy Matt and Ant and Shabazz is literally saying, "Yo, why is Derrick Henry not getting the ball?" And boom, continue.
And then second half starts. He gets the rock. I'm like, all right. 80-something yarder, which he was looking straight, but he literally had like he had peaked the guy. He could have made him miss. I think so. I think honestly he could have made him miss, throw a stiff arm at him or whatever, and then keep it pushing. But hey, and then Celtics won 37 from Tatum. I just think the only thing, and then I'm making the same point again because we dominate teams, which force them to throw the ball, which is why the stats are so inflated that way. With the exception of the what game was it? The Bengals game. The Burrow from the end of the second quarter to the end of the game, he was covering us up. But I will say, besides that, we're spanking folks. They have to throw the ball to come back into the game, which leads to why Baker Mayfield has 370 with 3 touchdowns. Which leads to why Dak had almost 400 yards. So our passing stats, yeah, they aren't great, but you gotta contextualize these things and like, hey, like before the comeback, the attempted comeback, it was 41-18. Lamar was out, Derrick Henry was out, the starters were out. It was just second and third string guys there, which leads to the point where we could have really put it on you if we wanted to. We had 6 straight scoring drives. So if we really wanted to put it on you, we could have put it on you. Word is bond. But we didn't because we didn't want people to get injured, which is why if you're getting spanked like that, you don't play your people, man. Because look, Baker Mayfield has 370. Wow, whoop-de-doo. K Dotton got 8 for 100 yards. But that in that fourth quarter, every time he caught the rock, whether it was Roquan or Kyle Hamilton, they was laying his ass out. And then Marcus Williams flipped him one time. So he woke up today, my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. And then the unfortunate news of Chris Godwin, dislocated ankle. Like, dude, you don't like even you had no timeouts. Even if you did score, what was gonna happen? Realistically, with 25 seconds left.
Yeah.
So it breaks my heart to see Tampa. You played well. A team that like Lamar has been great against the blitz, and I had a parlay that if it had hit, it would turn $9.91 to 200 cash. And all I needed was Zay Flowers for 40 yards total. Pound 40 receiving yards. I didn't even know about the rushing yard. They use them a lot in like the jet sweeps, which great, keep doing that. And also they come back. There was a backwards pass. I think they're gonna take that out the playbook because those
Oh,
typically
for the safe flowers, yeah, that was.
those typically don't work. Whether if you're like Lamar or whatever, those typically don't work at all anyway. Like so the wide receiver screen, I guess. Like I don't like the motion and having him stop. No, if you're gonna do it, have it in bunch formation, then you pull the blockers, whatever. You can do that versus right, like whatever. I just said a lot. Long story short, because I made a short story long, is that Ravens are 5-2. Lamar's the MVP, but whether he wins it or not, the media only cares about January. He's elevated to a point where all they care about is January. They don't do that with Josh. They don't do that with Joe. They only do it with Mahomes, Dak for some reason because he played for Dallas. But I think that's just more like a byproduct of like the 30 years of non-playoff success for the Cowboys. So he's just not the benefactor, but like he's the inheritor of that in Lamar. Because Lamar, 2 MVPs, only one AFC Championship game appearance. There you go. So, all that to say, Ravens flock, big trust, whoop whoop, Lamar Jackson in the flesh. Yes, sir. Big trust. That's it. Again, parlay hit, $5 turned out to 14. Great wins. I'm in a no sweat right now for this NBA. We trying to build on to this, and we on a good momentum. Join us tomorrow at 8:30. We talk about week 8. It sucks that we're halfway through the season. It breaks my heart, but it's okay because basketball is back, so it's also a good thing. I'm Shabazz. That's Nattybaps. You have anything last to say?
Hey man, say man, Saints gotta lock in.
They do gotta lock in.
But again, we Taysom Hill coming back, Olave is coming back. Just hopefully we lock in, man. And we kind of disrespected the Cardinals real quick. I already deleted the banner. The Cardinals ran the ball. James Conner, he's one of the most underrated players in the league, and he had a great game running the ball, and then he like iced the game basically with a great reception, like 30-yard reception. And I feel bad for Justin Herbert, but he couldn't have a Drew Brees esque arc. Come home, come to the Saints, baby. The Chargers, make it happen. We'll love you. We'll accept you like our adopted son. But Shabazz, close us out, man.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. I'm Shabazz. That's Nattybaps with the Baptiste Bros. Join us tomorrow, 8:30, week 8 predictions and analysis with spreads, touchdown scores, you name it. You name it. We almost halfway, man. And it's unfortunate, but we here with it. We carry it. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave your lives in the 4 F's and the V, which is faith, food, family, football, and I do this every single week. I do it every week.
Vindication.
And again, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30. Peace. Hit your parlay.